Hey guys, what's up? Pitmarthroy here, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. In the last episode, we watched one of our closest allies, despite the fact he never actually fought with us, get murdered horribly. Horribly in both the sense that it was terrible, and the fact that it was not a very good death scene because there was no blood or anything like that. But oh well. That's not what Fire Emblem is about. I mean, we've slaughtered several people, and there's no blood in it. So here we got a little flashback scene of Ike, where you can kind of tell of Ike, and also his father, and that's when he first learns to fight with the swords. And believe it or not, if you play the sequel to this game, that axe right there, the axe is known as Irvin, by the way, that's his speciality. You will actually get that at near the end of the game. Give one of your most powerful axe users. And since in the sequel to this game, once Ike gets his force class up, you can actually let him wield axes. So if you want him to wield his father's axe, I guess you could. I usually give it to somebody else that I've practiced with. So, with that out of the way, let's get started on Chapter 8, Despair and Hope. So yeah, everybody is grieving over Commander Greil. Soren doesn't really say much, but, you know, he's grieving as much as Soren can. Okay, so where are Oscar and Boyd? Are they just gone, or Gatry is shining? Well, they probably just don't care. Oh, well, here they are. Boyd and Oscar are, anyway. And Boyd's pretty ticked, so what exactly happened? Yeah, Shining and Gatry have left the party. That is why we got rid of all their weapons. Yeah, they left because they knew Ike would take charge, because, you know, it's his father's company, and Shinan didn't want to deal with Ike, because he doesn't like Ike. I'm not really sure why Gatry leaves. I think it's just because he's kind of close to Shinan, so, you know, he's like, yeah, I'll leave too. Soren doesn't even care. After all the battles we've been through, Soren's like, whatever, they can be replaced. Yeah! And everybody agrees that they will have him be commander. So fortunately, minus Gatry and Shinan, it looks like everybody is going to be with us till the very end. And of course, Soren will stay. Yeah, what are you talking about, Soren? You're like one of the best units in both this game and the sequel. Plus, he also has probably the coolest backstory in general. Which, if I have time at the end of this, I will go over each of their backstories. I might do that if I do Radiant Dawn. I might try to do it then, because there's a lot explained in Radiant Dawn that won't be explained in this game. So this is the best part, honestly. This is the reason this is the best chapter. Is simply you get your convoy. You have no idea how helpful this thing is. We won't have to be trading weapons back and forth. If we've got too many weapons, instead of dropping it at them, we can just send it to the convoy, and if we need to use it later, we can. Oh, the convoy is such a lifesaver in this game. Getting the convoy is like the first real step in this game, honestly. So, instead of actually starting a battle, we get this screen right here. We got a whole bunch of different options here. We have Outfit, which will let you manage, sell, buy, forge items, send them into the convoy. Manage, which will let you give all that bonus EXP that you got, and also your skills. You can put those on units. Support, whenever this flashes green, you can use it, otherwise you won't really get anything from it, along with info. You can build support relationships, we'll talk about this in a moment. And info, which will getting information, and depending on how many stars, that will indicate the importance. Sometimes you'll get new characters from these, so always be sure to check them out. Save, which will be saving your progress, and ending, which will be leaving the base and starting the fight in this chapter. I always start with info and support, so we're going to start with support here. Oh, right. I was like, why isn't it working? You have to cancel out the Y. So you'll select units, and you'll see that some of them, like Titania, can have a support with Ike, Rise, or Boyd. So not all of them are lit, only Ike and Oscar currently. So if you select Ike or Oscar, you can have them talk to the other. And then they'll kind of have, like, a little bit of a support conversation. These are a lot better in Radiant Dawn, but they're also a lot worse in a way, because in Radiant Dawn, you can support any units you want as long as they've been fighting side by side on the field for a while, and they're always the same thing. They're like, for an example, hey Oscar, hope you're doing good out there. You too, Ike, watch yourself. It's the same, it's almost the exact same lines, they just switch out names. So in this game, they actually, you know, have a little bit of depth to them. But also, you can only get a certain amount of, you can only have a certain amount of people that'll actually be in your support range, you know, like, only Oscar, Titania, and Soren. I think that's for Ike, I'm not sure. Yeah. So only certain people can get it. You see there's question marks, so later on there will be other people you can get, and then they will let you have support there. And support whenever you're on the field by somebody, you can get a little bit of attack, defense, etc. from that. And here we have the, basically you can just select one of these and get information. We're going to start with the merchant because it's 2 stars. And this is where the convoy takes place, really. So we have Amy, and she is basically the shopkeeper. She's the one that sells items. And we have Mustin, which is the guy who sells you all of your weapons. The difference between the two is Amy sells stuff like, you know, vulneraries or heal stabs. They're not actually weapons. And then you got these two guys right here. This is George or Jorge. We're going to call him Jorge because that sounds more cool. So Jorge will basically, you can sell your items to him. And this is Daniel, who will actually forge items for you. You can make really strong items, believe it or not, and some that'll last you the whole game if you're careful enough with them. But it does cost quite a bit of money. And we have Unknown. These are just kind of like, you know, small things. They just really add plot to the story. They don't actually, you know, give you anything. Usually 3 stars will give you a character, 2 stars will give you important information about the next level or things that you're obtaining. And 1 stars are just kind of, you know, their own thing. They just give you information about the story, what's going on with the characters. Rolf's such an awesome kid. He is. He's like the hero of this game. Well, not really, but he should be. Yeah, the difference between Boyd and Shina not wanting him to be commander is Boyd never thought that would actually come into play. Now that he has actually, now that he really is the commander, Boyd's like, well. So yeah, this is talking about the 3 brothers and their backstory. Basically, what happens to them, which I'll probably go over it at the end game once again. Their father dies, or no, yeah, their father dies. Their mother leaves them, and so basically, Oscar had to leave the Crimean Knights because he used to work there and become a mercenary to support Boyd and Rolf. And then that's when Greil found them and, you know, made them part of his family. There's another support conversation in Radiant Dawn that actually Rolf's mother, you know, all 3 of them, Rolf's mother But she shows up wanting to see Rolf, because she hadn't seen Rolf since he was a baby, but she's seen Boyd and Oscar before. And so, she wants to see Rolf, and Boyd says no, but Oscar says it will be up to him to decide. And Rolf actually says, no, I don't want to see my mother. She's just like another person to me, because I barely know her. And you guys are my real family. So, Rolf's pretty awesome. Alright, so that's all the info. So we're going to go to Manage, and we have award EXP or skills. We're going to start with skills right here. We can assign that Miracle skill, which will say reduces any lethal blow to half damage. So let's say Ike's got 5 HP, and the guy that attacks him would do 6 damage. Instead of doing 6 and killing him, he would only do 3, so Ike would stay alive. I would give this to a unit with really low defense, and that would be Boyd. Maybe Rise if you want. Now, to be fair, it says remove. You can remove skills, however, you will not gain them. It will just take them off and erase them forever. So, if a unit comes with a skill, just leave it on. The other skills that are currently here are Counter, which, can we see this here? In certain instances, causes the enemy to receive half the damage it deals to the unit. Adept, which will let you attack twice in one movement, which we already knew about that. Serenity, which will have the biorhythm effect. Tempest, which will double the biorhythm effect, and Vantage, which this one's very good, which will allow the unit to attack first in all fights, including if the enemy attacks you. In Radiant Dawn, this can only sometimes activate, but in this game it activates all the time, so Vantage is a really good skill. We'll be getting some other ones later on, so that's all we're going to do for there. Alright, next up we have the award EXP, which we can take all that bonus experience we earned and give it to any character you want as long as they're not maxed out. If I got to level 20, we'd not be able to give him anything. I'm not going to be using Mia, so we don't have to worry about that. As for Rise, not going to worry about him too much. Titania, not going to worry about her. So the 3 we're going to worry about is Soren, Oscar, and Boyd. Since Soren is the farthest behind currently, he will be getting most of the experience here. And this first part right here, you will see a drastic change in how strong Soren, Boyd, and Oscar will get from giving them this EXP. It is ridiculous how much they get from just a few levels. Now, in Radiant Dawn, EXP abuse is actually bad because you will only get a, you know how you can get, +1 in any different thing. In Radiant Dawn, you can only get a maximum of 3 per level, whereas leveling normally you can get all 8. In this game, however, you can actually get more than 3, so using the bonus EXP does not actually hurt your characters. So you can feel free to take advantage of this. Like, see right there, I just got 5, so it's not going to bother you that much in this game. Soren's level 9, so we'll level up Boyd once. If you're not really sure to do it with your EXP, just find your lowest level character that you're going to be using continuously, and just level them up. Level Oscar up, because we're going to need Oscar quite a bit here in this next fight, so I'm probably going to focus on him the most. I want him to get some more strength, because he's really lacking in the strength department. The Oscar that I've got on my current file that I'm just playing through for fun is actually doing really well. And it also, this isn't really a big deal to y'all, but I'm actually playing it through for the first time on hard mode, and I'm actually past this chapter that we're about to tackle. And it hasn't been that bad this far. That one map where you had to fight at nighttime at the Greil Mercenaries Fort, that one is actually a Fog of War map, and that means you can't see anything. Or at least, except for what's right in front of you, so it made it a little bit more difficult, but since I kind of knew the layout, it was a little easy. It wasn't as easy as this would be, but, still not terrible. It'll probably get worse later on, though. There's one level in this game that's really difficult on easy mode, so on normal mode, it's going to be quite a pain. 11, 10, 10. I think we'll level up. Yeah, I think we have enough to level up Boyd and Soren at least one more time. And then I guess I'll give the rest of the XP to Ike and see if I can get him to level up once. If you really don't know what to do with all your level ups and you know you don't have enough to level anybody up, just see if there's anybody that needs to be topped off in experience. Like, let's say they got 90-something experience and you have enough to get them to the next level. Go ahead and do it. It might get them an HP upgrade that you won't have to heal next battle or something. So it's always worth a shot. I mean, it didn't work right there, but it could have. So now we got Soren up to 11, Boyd up to 11, and Oscar up to 11. So that's pretty helpful right there. And lastly, we have Outfit, which you can take any items, trade them over, send them to the convoy, anything. So this is fantastic right here. So we're going to give the Iron Lance and Steel Bow to the convoy, along with the Thief Band. We'll be getting a Thief later on, but right now we don't have one. Titania can give the Iron Bow to the convoy. I didn't mean to give him the Collex. And also the Elixir, because she doesn't really need it, and Archer Band. We'll be getting an Archer later as well. Soren's fine. Rise can give over the Steel Lance. Boyd can give over his Steel Lance, along with the Night Band from Gautry. Oscar's alright. And I actually don't want me to have anything, so I will choose this command right here, Give All. And there we go. Going over what we have right here, by the way, we can trade, which will trade items with any other unit. List, which will view all the items sorted by category. The Convoy, which would be giving stuff to the Convoy. Equip, which would be just like, let's say I want the Regal Sword equipped at the beginning of the battle. Just go here and equip it. Use, if you got a specific item, like something that will increase your speed, like the Speed Wing, you can use it here. List, which, wait, we already went over the list. Give All, which would give all your items. Unequip, which will just unequip the weapon. Or Drop, which would be throw it away, which I don't know why you do that. Because, even if you wanted to drop it, you could go to the shop and sell the item. So if you want to sell something, you can do that. You can forge more powerful weapons, buy something at the shop, or buy weapons at the armory. And that is about it. I actually want to get Ike a steel sword if I can, but I think Mia's got something that she gave over. She had an iron and some sword. I'll take the armor slayer and the iron sword, I guess. But now you can safely go into the battle with multiple weapons here. Actually, no. Take that back. I want her to have the javelin, so she'll have a ranged weapon. So I prefer to go into each fight with everybody having at least 3 weapons, and at least one of those weapons needs to be ranged. Guaranteed. Can we buy an Iron Axe for Boyd? Yeah, we're going to do that. Because the Iron Axe has better accuracy, so we'll let him have Iron Axe. Even though we probably had some in the convoy, I really don't want to use him too much. Soren will be alright, even though he's only got 2 spells. He'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Rise, your heal stat's a little bit low, but you got Mend, so I think you'll be alright. That looks like it'll do it. So, make sure always save, because the last thing you want to do is go into a battle, have somebody die, reset, and redo all those preparations. And we're going to go ahead and end the base. Next time I won't be explaining stuff, so I will be a lot faster on that. So, you know, if K-Man is editing this, if he could put in a little subtitle that said, skip to 18 minutes or so, whenever I start the battle, skip to this to get straight to the fight, that would be wonderful. But I will always show my, what I'm doing, because the last thing I want is for you guys to not know what the heck I'm doing, and be like, oh wait, he equipped a short spear or whatever. This is actually one of my favorite fights. Despite the fact it's extremely hard, I love this fight. So yeah, for some reason, despite the fact we're in Gallia, under their protection, they're still following us. They've lost their minds. Of course, this would be the opportunity in the war to pretty much secure the immediate victory, so you want to try to get that as soon as possible. But we're the Greil mercenaries. I mean, we're the protagonists. We can't lose. Yeah, we don't care about that cutscene right there. It's just that 5-second cutscene. As you can well imagine, this is going to be a defense level. It does not go around and kill all the enemies. It is survive for a certain amount of turns. Alright, here we go. So, K-Man, if you are watching this, if you could put a subtitle in that said, went to 1903, or something like that, to get to the fight, that would be wonderful. Okay, so we're restarting this part. You would never guess why, though. Like, last time we restarted, it was because Boyd died, right? Nobody actually died this time. I did not recruit Ileana, not because I killed her, because I ran out of time, which is stupid, but it happened. And it could happen tomorrow. Oh well. That kinda sucks, but oh well. We will have to live with it. I'm gonna go with putting Oscar right here. Yeah, we'll stick with what we got there. Put Soren right there. We'll throw a Void over here just because we can. Alright, there we go. So, general strategy for this area. This is a defense, 8 turns defense. Pretty simple. That one unit that I showed up there, Ileana, she is recruited by talking to her with Ike. She will not even attack you. In fact, she will walk right up to Ike and just wait for you to talk to her. That's how easy it is to recruit her. Which, you know, she's the first person we've recruited besides Mia, who actually talked to us. The only difference is we actually have to talk to this person. Yeah, we actually have to communicate. But yeah, 8 turns defense, just set up your defenses like so. I always have Titanian Soren on the right-hand side. Sometimes I have Boyd in the center area, sometimes Oscar. It just depends on how their levels are looking. If Oscar's a bit low-leveled, I actually put him behind with a Javelin or a Short Spear. If not, I let him do his own thing, kill off all the units he can, and give him some backup with Boyd whenever he needs it. Because right now, Oscar's experience is currently more important than Boyd's is. He'll be able to get plenty later in this fight. And then I usually have Ike over there. If I use Mia, I'll have Mia over with Ike as well. The only reason I sent Boyd over there is just because, you know, I'll be able to kill the units quicker and hopefully get to Ileana faster. I might try to take out the boss, too. The boss is actually really easy to kill. Despite the fact that he's a level 15 Armored Knight, he only has 13 defense. Oscar's got 11 right now, and he's only, like, level 11 Lance Lord, or not Lance Lord, Lance General, not General. Lance... Well, actually, they are called Lance Knights as well. It's weird, because you've got, like, the Knights that are on horses, and then you got the Armored Knights, but they're called the same thing, pretty much. It's very confusing. I don't know why they do that. But whenever you see the word Night Killer, there's a weapon called the Night Killer. It's actually against the, horses, not the armored units, despite the fact the armored units are called Knights. It makes no sense at all. I will never understand why they did that. I'm glad they fixed it. And the reason I was calling them generals is that's what you call them in Radiant Dawn, is you call them axe generals, lance generals, or sword generals, and then they class up into marshals. And yep, that was a really good level up once again. Yeah, you can reset the game over and over and get the same level up stats, not from each character. Like, when Ike levels up at level 15 in a different file, he won't get that same stats, but if I reset what I was just on, then yes, he will get those same stats. I was kind of hoping he'd get a crit, but it didn't happen. Oh well. I mainly want to focus on getting Ileana before anything else right now. Now, the problem on this right-hand side, despite the fact there's huge numbers here, you can actually take them all out pretty easily. There's going to be 2 problems on this map, or on this side, and it's going to be that guy and that guy. Both of the archers, especially this one because he's got a longbow. So try to take them out as quickly as you can. Because they can damage Soren, and archers are pretty accurate, so they'll probably hit him. We'll just send that to the convoy. Instead of throwing it away, we can actually send it to the convoy now. That's nice. Iron Sword. Are any of these guys the ones with the javelin? I think we killed one of the few guys that had the javelin, so... I'm just gonna run up and use the Steel Lance, I guess. The guy with the javelin will survive the next round, but he's probably the only one that will, except for that one other guy couldn't double for some reason. That's it. I would want to heal Oscar, but that guy with the javelin would probably, attack Rise instead of, you know, going for Oscar. Even though he ran off to heal. Most of the time they'll do that. Now, in about this area, if the units have less than 10 HP, they're probably going to run off and heal. That's usually what they do, but I did not want to take that risk. Because, you know, worst case scenario, I'd put off my healing for a turn. If I did that. If I left Rise there, worst case scenario would be Rise would die. Yeah, that guy right there is also annoying because he's got a javelin, but usually he won't go for Soren. He'll go for Titania. Not sure why he does that, but that's what he does. Probably because he knows if Soren counters, he's much more likely to die than if Titania counters, because Titania has basic attack defense stats, and Soren's more, you know, resistance magic. Weapon level up, that's probably level C. Oh yeah, now you get your critical. Alright, I see how it is. Yes, I'm eating. Sorry. I'm eating Rice Krispie treats mixed with red velvet cake. It's actually quite good. I'm gonna go see if I can get Boy to kill the boss now. Ike, you're on your own for a little while. We'll let you keep the Regal Sword. It's fine. Okay, where's that guy with the javelin? There he is. Hey, you! I don't like your tood, man. You and your ranged weapons. Now that he's gone, I can heal with Rise behind Oscar whenever I want. Achievement unlocked, you know. Go ahead and do that right now. Yeah, we'll go with this. Depending on how many mages you want to use will depend on what type of mage your version of Soren will depend on. I'm planning on using a Wind Mage and a Fire Mage. Not going to be using a Thunder Mage, so Ileana will not be in the equation. So, if I was going for just Soren, I would probably teach him Fire Magic. Main reason being is I don't like Thunder Magic because it's very inaccurate, despite the fact it's the most powerful. It does not hit very often. It's probably got about a 60% accuracy. If Fire had, you know, 85 and Wind had 100. So, much better to use, you know, Fire or Wind. But since I'm already going to have a Fire Mage later on, there's no point in wasting the Fire spells, and also the weapon level ups for Wind on Soren. So I'll use Fire if it's absolutely necessary. If not, then oh well. Yeah, I figured that guy would try to do that. Now the reason that Mage is there, and I didn't say he was a threat, because he can attack from range too. I know that. The reason he's not a threat to Soren is because Soren's got such high resistance at this point, that Mage probably isn't even going to damage him, to be honest. In the take before he didn't, so I don't know why he would now. So I don't see him as a threat at all. Maybe a little bit to Titania. He did 3 damage to her, but none to Soren whatsoever. And Titania can take a lot more damage than Soren can, so I'm not worried about Titania near as much. You little coward. Dude, you have a healer right there. Don't keep stealing each other's vulneraries. For crying out loud. Of course, you could have been that guy, and it wouldn't have mattered how high your HP was. It could have been maxed out all the way, and you still would have died. And yet, now your healer's like, oh wait, I can heal you. Alright, time to recruit Ileana. Go up to her, hit the talk command, and talk to her. So yeah, she's not really an enemy. She was traveling with the merchants, but they got separated. So they thought that she was a Crimean refugee, and they wouldn't believe her, so basically they had to help fight. So What's funny is she is actually traveling, or was traveling, with the weapons vendor and, you know, the items clerk and all that, so she was actually with them originally, so she will actually immediately join your party and help. She'll turn to a blue unit, and then on she'll be vulnerable, sort of. And yeah, her stats aren't that great, she's got decent skill and all that, but I don't like using Ileana at all, so we're going to be avoiding her. We'll put her behind Ike and have her attack a little bit. Maybe she'll be able to do some damage, but otherwise, not going to worry about it. In the meantime, we're just going to kill some more Dance soldiers, because we can do that. And we got a critical on that guy, despite the fact that we didn't need it. It's kind of hard to tell whenever a mage gets a critical, because you don't see that blue flash, but you can still hear the noise, so it was there. Alright, Archer's gone. Hopefully we'll get that mage next turn. I don't think anybody needs healing, or anybody near us. Alright, we're all set. Yeah, recruiting Ileana is the only thing. You don't even have to do that, but that'd be the only reason you go out of your way to stop the current defense that you have, and then after that you just set it right back up and put Ileana wherever she needed to be. I don't know what that other soldier that was running off to the west was doing. You know, to the west, to the west. I do know what that guy's doing, though. It's called being a pain. Oh well, he'll be dead next turn. Dude, once again, healer right there. You blind? Oh, well, I guess if you're gonna go heal off 2 HP, that's too big of an importance, you know. There are starving children in Africa, and you're just gonna go and heal somebody for 2 HP. Even though it has nothing to do with each other. Alright, I'm just gonna move Ike back here and watch him burn. How far is that I have to go? Okay. I'm gonna try something a little bit risky here, and I had a terrible Wizcrack right there. We're gonna get rid of this guy if we can. With Boyd, maybe. We'll have to get rid of him with Boyd. Yeah, but we can, okay. So we're gonna get rid of this guy first. Move Oscar back into his spot. Normally I would never do this, on hard mode especially. Okay, go ahead and heal Boyd. If Boyd can equip the hand axe and double him, that'd be great. Yeah, but I don't want to risk 71% chance of hitting. I would much rather stick with 91, that's a lot safer. Could still miss, but it's very unlikely. I've actually missed with 96% chance of a hit before, so I probably shouldn't be saying that. And we'll kill this guy. Normally I'd kill the healer, but since he can't do anything, I might as well kill the healer, and Mage is just going to attack me again and fail, so it's actually not a bad idea. Just go ahead and attack the healer. It's a free kill, essentially. Wait! And I don't know what these guys are going to do, they're just going to do their own thing. And yeah, that guy's going to attack, probably do 3 damage, yep. Yeah, I'll have Rise heal that whenever I get the chance. Not worried about that guy at all. And I'm actually not worried about these soldiers either, because honestly, I think Boyd will be able to take them without much problem. Yep. Because they have terrible stats and the weapon triangles against them. They did a total of 11 damage and they both died. Alright, good job, Boyd. Now let's see if I can get that boss to come crawling out here. What turn are we on? 6? Alright, we got time. That's good. Where's that boss? Right there. He will drop a soldier band, by the way. Like I said, terrible stats all around. He does have a ranged weapon, though, so make sure, once you get him in your sights, equip some type of ranged weapon to actually get him. I'm going to kill this healer right here, because he's just kind of doing nothing. So he's essentially a free kill. And I doubt he'll be much of a problem, but hey, he's just standing there doing nothing, so... Oh, he dropped a red gem. Wow. Yeah, go for that healer. Holy cow, I had no idea about that. Go ahead and kill this guy. But yeah, red gem will sell for quite a bit of money at the shop, so make sure to pick those up whenever possible. There are also other variations, a blue gem and a white gem, which will sell for 5,000 and 10,000 respectively. So make sure to pick those gems up. Definitely a must-have. Double him fire? Yeah! This is a case where I'd actually use fire because it would kill the enemy as opposed to just leaving him there with 2 HP. And he didn't even do any damage, so goodbye, mage. That'd be an example where I'd use fire as opposed to wind, because there's going to be a fire mage that I'm going to get later on. I'm not going to use Elianda, so no thunder magic for me, besides it's inaccurate, even though it's the highest damaging-wise. It's very inaccurate, so... Gonna avoid it, but I will have wind magic for Soren and fire for that mystery mage that we'll see much later on. Don't worry about seeing her for quite some time. So yeah, the boss moves in this one if you get close enough to him. Otherwise, I don't think he'll move until the last 2 turns or 1 turn. You know, kind of like the Flight map, Chapter 5 Flight, kind of like that. You do want to watch out for this guy, though, because he can be a thorn in your side because he'll get in the way. I'm going to try to kill him with Oscar and use the hammer to get rid of that boss. Because I'll bet the hammer could probably kill him. Oh, wait, are we on the last turn? Oh, no, we still got 2 more turns left. Okay, good. I was about to say, oh, come on. Actually, I may just, like, let this guy try to follow me here. That may not be a bad idea. Just go ahead and use a vulnerate. I kind of want to get him near the fork, because then we got our own advantage here. How far can Oscar move? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, we could just check his movement for that. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, he'll be fine. Jeez, I don't want to waste the steel lance, so... He's full on HP. Even if he gets hit, it's not that big of a deal. I just want that guy gone, so he won't damage Boyd. And yeah, that guy can't reach Oscar, so I'm not worried about him either. Or about him damaging Oscar, or trying to, anyway. Now you notice how fire only did a little bit more damage in this case. If your weapon level is high enough, because your weapon level also gives you a little bit of attack stat, you notice how the weapon level for Soren on his wind is D and fire and thunder are E. So if, let's say, wind levels up to A and fire still on E, that wind spell would actually probably do more damage than the fire would, because Soren has a higher weapon level in wind than he does fire. Yeah, that'll do it. Let's see if we can get this boss to die. I don't know if Boyd can kill him. Can he? Alright, good job, Boyd. Glory to Dan, yeah. You keep telling yourself that as you die. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Sometimes you'll get a level up where nothing will happen. But we got the soldier band, that's nice. Even though there's a soldier that's alright, I would use her in easy mode, but normal or hard, no. She's not bad once she levels up, it's just the fact that she will barely do any attack. She's really frail. That's the problem with her. In Radiant Dawn, though, she's a fantastic unit. I bring her to the end game almost every single time. Oh, great, this guy. Yeah, well, he missed, so too bad for him. See ya. And that guy probably... Oh, nope, he can't reach. Too bad, so sad. Alright, Alright, we got one more turn, so if you want to go all out, keeping in mind that the enemy will be able to strike back, of course. That guy's got a javelin, so I'm going to try to get rid of him right now. I'm not worried about the guy with the Iron Lance. He can't really do that much. Even if the healer does heal him, it's still going to be experience for Ike. Yeah, he's nothing special. Can he even reach Ileana? No, he can't. Okay. If Oscar could crit... But no, he didn't even hit him. Wow. Oscar, you lost your mind? We'll just leave him there, I guess. I want Boyd to be healed, because I don't want him dying on the last turn. That would be terrible. Alright. I could do that, but that'd be pretty stupid to do that, so... I think we're all set. This guy is either going to kill himself or almost kill himself and get healed. Nope, he's dead. Yeah, he's definitely dead now. If he wasn't dead before, he is now. Oh, that almost got Ike a level up, too. If only that healer could attack, then he would kill himself, but no, he can't. If you get your healer actually to a high enough level where they class up into a saint, they can actually use light magic, which Rise can do. He's the only light magic user in this game, as far as I'm aware of. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't aware of this the first time I played the game, though, so I kept getting these light spells from all these enemy units. I was like, what's the point in this? Nobody can use light magic on my team, so all I did was sell them. But since I'm not going to be using Rise after a certain point, that's essentially what we will be doing with the light magic, is selling them. Oscar getting some EXP at the very end of this here. And that's the end. You have a bunch of these units show up, but I don't know why, because they don't do anything. It's the last turn, you know, they just stand there and look pretty. Oh, come on, we can take them. The only way we would not be able to take these guys for as long as we needed to is once our weapons ran out of usage. That's all. I love how it's got, like, Titanium Soren acted like they're dead right there. Or, you know, knocked out, lost, whatever. It's like, whatever, we can take these guys. Mist, what are you doing? You can't fight. Yeah, that's what we should do. We should have everybody die but Mist and Rolf, and then have Rolf be the protagonist of the rest of the game. That's a genius idea. Let's do it. No. Okay, fine. The dialogue changes a little bit here. Normally, instead of having a soldier say this, you managed to defeat our general, you fought well. Normally it'll just say something like, you have fought well, and it will be the actual, you know, boss of the map. But since it wasn't, they just made up a random soldier. I love this part right here when the Lagoo show up. They just, like, mow down all the units, and they all just die all at once. It's like, oh my gosh. If only they were that good in the actual game, but they're not. And Leith just kills him in one hit, like a boss. She is a boss, though. Mordecai, not so much, but Leith is pretty dang awesome. So yeah, these are the two Galleon warriors, sort of. They'll join your team pretty quickly. So we have Mordecai, which is the big blue tiger. And he's not very good, because he doesn't get good speed. He'll have really good attack stat at the beginning, but it'll just fail in comparison to a lot of the other Lagoos. And then we have Leith. I like her both character-wise and, you know, like, overall attack-wise. Because she's got really good speed, she'll be able to double a lot. She's got a Bjork guard, which will let her do, or which will make her take half damage from all human attacks. Good HP. She's got everything. She's just really good in general. I cannot think of anything that really hinders her whatsoever. So definitely use Leith. And I like her personality, because she's like, she hates all the humans in this game. All of them. You soft, hairless things with no power at all. Yeah, and Mordecai can't really speak English that well because they're used to their Laguz language. So if Mordecai seems like he's talking funny, that's why. She's like, I don't trust you. Yeah, and Soren's gonna come out and he's just gonna, like, totally burn them. No pun intended, since he can use fire. But yeah, Soren takes them off, so they try to attack him. No, don't do that! Soren's got the power of fire, even though in this thing right here, she uses, wind. Or, not she, he uses wind. It's like wind, really? When you got fire that can do bonus damage to Laguz? Why would you, never mind. So yeah, these two are basically here to get us to the Royal Palace safely. So next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, I almost said Radiant Dawn again, we will tackle the next chapter, which is Chapter 9, Gallia. See you guys then.